Hey guys, happy Tuesday to you. So this is Ed over at FICM Repair. So we see this comment here. We're obviously fans of the Power Stroke 6 liter, and this gentleman writes, "Isn't this seems like a Ford a class action lawsuit?" And the answer is, well, yeah, you're 100% right. It is. Conveniently, we're not reliant on just Ford here, right? So the aftermarket has stepped in and provided solutions for victims that fail all the time due to larger alternators, or oil cooler relocate kits, or full flow coolant filters that go ahead and filter all the contaminants so you don't clog up your oil cooler, right? These are the big things, right? So oil coolers get clogged up, EGR coolers get clogged up, you blow head gaskets, you go through FICMs like candy. These are the things that happen. But recognize, please understand that the aftermarket has stepped up, and there's a whole lot of people that say now that this is the best motor out there for in diesel land. There's so many people that believe that. So if you're one of them, put it in the comments. And if you're not one of them, maybe watch the comments, and we can see together what's going on, right? And so what we can see together is that yes, indeed, the motor from Ford, from the assembly line, was horrible, because it really was. All kinds of problems, blown head gaskets, techs that didn't know what they were doing, they got some bad guidance, whatever, oil cooler after oil cooler after oil cooler, and now we know what the solutions are. We know to back flush the whole system out and use VC9, as Ford's additive, or Restore is the same product from Cummins, to go ahead and clean up all the crap that's up in the block, all the casting sand that causes these oil coolers to clog up, right? And so we know that that's the story. We know that if we fix that, just fixing that alone makes a huge difference. We know that if we run a full flow coolant filter, then we can catch all the floaties, get rid of all that casting sand, and we can stop having problems with clogged up oil coolers and or fractured EGR coolers, for that matter, because what happens is the oil cooler gets clogged up, it limits the flow of coolant out of the oil cooler, and now all of a sudden you've got driplets of water coming in, driplets of coolant coming into your EGR cooler. Well, it's an EGR, so exhaust gas recirculation, and it causes that coolant to flash boil, and because it just trickles in instead of flowing through, and all of a sudden particulate fallout happens, and so now you get floaties in suspension, and it routes out through the motor, through the water pump, and causes you to have a problem. And the problem that it causes you to have is it causes you to have a problem with the oil cooler getting clogged more and more and more and more, all because you're not running a coolant filter, all because you're running a coolant that does indeed have particulate fallout. So please run a full flow coolant filter. We really like this solution here, IPR CF2, available on FICMRepair.com, just so you know. It's got this manifold here that goes ahead and allows you to double it as a backflush valve. And if you want to belt and suspenders it, then you can run their their full flow coolant filter and a dual bypass system. So now all of a sudden you're running AMSOIL's filter, a 2-micron filter, to make your HUE system happier with you, because the factory oil filtration is 22 microns and the AMSOIL filter is 2 microns. You end up with 10 times finer oil filtration. That's certainly a win. And if you want to avoid the particulate fallout issue, you'll either hop on FICM Repair and buy the Peak Final Charge Global, or you'll just go to your local O'Reilly's and pick it up. Just call ahead to the warehouse, because they got it in the warehouse. Otherwise, you're going to be paying for water by buying the 50/50 stuff on the shelf. But this stuff here is CAT EC1 rated, so yay. And it also does not have particulate fallout issues. And so it's like, okay. And so if you're traveling and you blow a hose, 500 miles from home, you can go to any O'Reilly's and they're going to have this on the shelf, and so do a metric ton of Walmarts. So if you couple this with some Mishimoto coolant hoses, they're silicone, they're lifetime guaranteed. I've never seen one blow. And then you also go ahead and pick up this degas bottle hose, and his comment in the back here, I might move it off to the side, but there's a aluminum Y in this thing to replace Ford's factory plastic Y. And so you do this, and now you won't blow a coolant hose, and so life is just so much better. But if you do, you're running the right coolant. And you couple this with a larger alternator, possibly with cabling, maybe like this, or if you can make your own cables, God bless you, man. Just replicate our cable kit. There's a reason why it's there. And now you're going to load balance your batteries better, because it's a 1350 amp inrush current to get the starter to start spinning. You're going to reroute the electrons so that the torque converter doesn't like to weld itself to the front pump anymore. You're going to go ahead and you're going to feed the the charge stud of the alternator with this bigger wire, because Ford's wire is only 8 gauge, ours is a 1/0, so it's 105,000 circular mils instead of 16,500 circular mils from Ford, so they'll piggyback and give the electrons a place to go. Then if you want to belt and suspenders it, you'll go ahead and you'll double your line pressure, quadruple your flow of your tranny fluid, and go ahead and get 10 times finer fluid filtration, so you'll be filtering at 15 microns instead of 149. And then last but not least, you're going to set yourself up with some monitoring. And so if you set yourself up with some monitoring, you can see what's going on. You don't have to worry about it. You'll see exactly what's happening, and it'll be obvious what's going on. And so you can get early indication of problems and everything else. And if you do this, you've overcome the vast majority, if not all, of the issues that plagued this motor. Guys, we have people, that take their heads off at 500,000 miles and they still see the hatch marks on the cylinder walls. Why is that? Well, number one, maybe they had to take the heads off because they didn't have a monitor so that their oil temperature get too high. So don't be running oil over 230 degrees. That's a super common way to pop some heads. They didn't set up audible alerting on their device, so please do that. And then in addition to that, you go ahead and you either proactively or reactively have the heads off and you're looking at stuff and you see, man, I got 500,000 miles on this thing and I still see the hatch marks? Well, why is that? Well, it could be that this high pressure oil pump has got something to do with it, or any high pressure oil, not necessarily this one, but the high pressure oil pump concept, where all of a sudden you got low pressure oil that feeds this pump, that feeds the high pressure oil pump, whether it's the OE pump or this aftermarket one or whatever. And so without low pressure oil, you're not going to get high pressure oil. Without high pressure oil, you're not going to have ignition. So your truck will never exceed cranking RPM without a fully lubricated bottom end. No wonder it lasts so long. So was there a class action lawsuit? Yes, there was. Has the aftermarket come up to the table and said, man, we can fix this? There's so many things here that we can fix. The answer is yes to that as well. And so now all of a sudden the world is your oyster. So keep that in the back of your head. And if you have questions, we got answers. FICMRepair.com. Guys, we're all in this together. I appreciate you. Take care. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Oh, and by the way, we took an order for a guy yesterday down the path of I guess it wasn't yesterday. It's late last week. Oh my goodness! But his one transaction had products on there from 16 different manufacturers. Holy, he might have broken the record there. And so the point is, think about all the money he saved on shipping. Oh my goodness, just that alone. Not to mention talking to folks that know who makes the best mousetrap and what parts work with what other parts. So the short answer is we can help you, and realize that the goal is never to sell you stuff. It's just to tell you stuff. Whatever path you want to go, you let us know, and we'll support you in that. And maybe if that was your experience with us, or if it wasn't, put that in the comments below. Say, oh man, they're a bunch of scam artists, or no, this was my experience, and no, they're not scam artists. Whatever the case is, put it in the comments. Don't let us filter. That's not what we want to do. We just want to help people. Promise you. FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together. Thank you, guys.